Hello everybody, this is Money Mom again. I have a question for you. Do any of you feel you should pay yourself first? You've heard that term quite often, and I've heard it. Well, what do you do if you don't feel you make enough money to pay yourself first? I think there's a lot of people out there, because you hear, set aside 10% to your savings or set aside 20% to your savings. And there's a lot of people I know out there that said, Dawn, we make $2,000 a month. I cannot always save $200 a month or, $300 a month. So I wanted to tell you 3 things to do if you don't feel you really have enough money to set aside money in savings. Let's get started. I think this video will maybe help many of you on stricter budgets or tighter budgets feel a little bit encouraged. First of all, I heard another budgeter who doesn't make tons of money. Her job will set aside some of her money automatically in a savings each month for her. So she has it automatically taken out of her savings so that she always has, money go in and she doesn't even see it or miss it. That could be an option for you, and she could do any amount. So let's say you couldn't save a whole lot. I have another friend that has $25 set aside, every other paycheck. So it's only $50 a month, but she feels she can afford that. So maybe your employer, if you're working full-time, does that. I'm an independent contractor. I don't have that option. So that's number 1. Number 2, start off small. If you don't feel that you can set aside 10% or even 5%, maybe do 2%. See if it's, you could set aside and just get in the habit of saving. So, for example, check out all your bills and say, okay, after all my bills, I only have $30 left over after the month. Well, maybe take 20 of that and put it in your savings. You'll be surprised at how fast it can add up, number 1. And number 2, you might get bonus checks or anything like that, or you might get overtime and or anything extra, and you can put that into savings. I know people that do that are on tight budgets, and what they'll do is if they have a bonus check a few times a year, they'll put that bonus check in savings, or if they work overtime, they'll put that in savings. Just anything extra, and it adds up pretty quickly. So that's one thing to do. Even just a small amount makes a difference. Who says you have to put exactly 10%? We don't have to follow anyone's rule. Saving a little bit's better than nothing. And number 3, my best tip, I feel like, if I felt like even with the bare bones budget that we could not save anything, what I would probably do is I would pick up a side job. I'd pick up another scheduling job, or I would probably go back to doing demos, and that money that I made from that job, I would take that money and put all of it in savings. So say if I got a job and it was only a little something, we'll say it's a babysitting job, and I made $250 a month. I would take that complete $250 and put it in savings. That way you know that you would have it. So there's just a few ideas, and even if some of you are on the tightest budget possible, even if you can only afford $20 a month, guess what? That's $20 a month that you didn't have in your savings before. Every little bit helps. And so it was just something I wanted to share with you guys. I know the pay for, yourself first can kind of sometimes stress people out, especially people that are on smaller incomes. But just remember, no one says you have to put 10%. Even 1% can make a difference. That's all I have to say. I'd love your feedback on this subject, and I thank you for watching. See you tomorrow morning. Love you. Bye.